with the exploits of Bafana Bafana in AFCON 2024 in Ivory Coast, some players have now, really, shown the willingness to come back to play locally. Because, if you look at Bafana Bafana in the tournament, they only had 2 overseas players. That was the guy playing in Greece, Mayambela, and Ustole playing in Portugal. The other player playing outside the South African league was a Pesita, who's in the continent at the time, was playing for Al Ahly. Now you're noticing a trend that some players are even willing to sacrifice their, the luxury or the exposure of playing in Europe or any other continent, and coming back to the continent, because they have seen how much Hugo Broos is willing to use local based players. Hugo Broos has been vocal as to where South African players should not go to, because if they go there, he is definitely not going to select them for Bafana Bafana. Examples in these are Njabulo Blom playing in MLS USA, Cassius Mailula playing MLS USA. They came back. Cassius Mailula is in Morocco playing for Wydad. Njabulo Blom is playing for Kaizer Chiefs, and it did not end with them. We've seen recently Tabokele also coming back to don the colors of Kaizer Chiefs. He was playing in Europe for the longest time, but he did not really have a chance with a Hugo Broos. Now recently, another one who has spent over 14 years overseas has decided finally to come back, and one of those reasons will be that he probably wants to don the jersey of Bafana Bafana for the very last time, and hopefully represent them in AFCON 2025, which will be hosted in Morocco later this year. Yes, I do go by the name of Oscar Mzansi, footballer, engage and discuss on anything to do with football, from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Thulani Serero is back in the country, born April 1990. At the moment, he is 34 years old. He left the country in the 2010-2011 season, where they're the best of seasons under the leadership of Mshin Echukral, where they almost won the league. He was voted the footballer of the year the very same season. He left the shores of South Africa and played in Holland for some time for Ajax Amsterdam, AZ, Alkmaar, and the like. Later on, moved to the Gulf, where we all know he was raking in the dollars. Currently, as things stand, he is training with Cape Town City. Yet again, he's gone back to familiar faces in John Comites, who owns and is the chairman of Cape Town City, and the mentor and the coach that was really coaching the young man at the time, 2010-2011 season, Mshin Echukral. Obviously, I don't think he's coming back for the money. I don't think there is a club in the country that can match what the Arabs are paying. He just left a club in UAE. I'm not sure if the club was based in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, but we all know tax-free, paying a whole lot of dollars. He's definitely not coming back for the money. He's 34, 35 now, and tons of experience. If Thulani Serero is coming back with the same attitude, experience, that Kamohelo Mukocho came back with when he also left Europe. Kamohelo came back, played for Skukune. He was one of the standout players, to a point where John Comites was like, you need to join my team, come over to Cape Town. Then I think Cape Town City, John Comites, Mshin Echukral, they should be happy. We've noticed that Thulani Serero is now playing a role of, a 6 or an 8. But we know he started more as a winger and a number 10 and attacking forward. But he is well experienced to play anywhere in that midfield or any attacking position. Now, this episode, I'm referring to a Thulani Serero maybe having a desire also to don the jersey of Bafana Bafana maybe for the last time, because I really also want to put a magnifying glass on a certain Brazilian prime of his career playing for Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm talking about Lucas Ribeiro Costa, the 26-year-old. I mean, for the time he came to South Africa from last season, I mean, he has been doing some wonders. He's been doing some incredible job for a Mamelodi Sundowns. Yet again, a question is popping up time and time again, and I must say, it's not the very first time it's popping up on a Lucas Ribeiro Costa. Someone who recently became eligible to play for Bafana Bafana, who is of a foreign origin, Thulani Serero, the Uruguayan. He is always open to the idea of playing for Bafana Bafana, since he also met the criteria of becoming a South African citizen. But when they asked the Bafana Bafana coach, Hugo Bruce, he was of the opinion that Thulani Serero, I think, is way over 30, and it's too late now to even consider a player like Thulani Serero. Now, they've moved on from posing questions about the Thulani Serero, because Hugo Bruce has made it clear that there is no room for a Serero. Now, the question now, every journal, every legend is talking about, is this Brazilian. 22 goal contributions already this season in all competitions, 12 goals and 10 assists. Now, Lucas Ribeiro is he's top class. I mean, he's top class. Okay, obviously he's not eligible to play for Bafana Bafana, because you to qualify for South African citizenship, you must at least be a resident for over 5 years in South Africa. He's only been here for two seasons, but they've asked him the question. He has made it clear and openly that he is willing to play for Bafana Bafana. Now, a legend who also played for Mamelodi Sundowns, Ricardo Nascimento, the left centre back, he was of this opinion. This is what he said. He said, I can see that Lucas Ribeiro is being celebrated greatly in South Africa, and he is a top, player, tactically gifted, technically up there. He's celebrated in South Africa. He's celebrated by South Africans. Chances are, me as a Nascimento, I didn't know of the player, and obviously there's a huge chance that even Brazilians here in Brazil, they've never heard of the player. They don't know the player. So if South Africans would welcome and embrace a Lucas Ribeiro Costa to be one of their own and represent Bafana Bafana, I would advise him to take the opportunity, because chances are very slim for a Costa Ribeiro to represent Brazil. We all know Brazil is rich in talent, especially in the position that a Ribeiro is occupying. I mean, every big club you can think of in Europe has got a Brazilian. You go to Arsenal, you've got Brazilian. You go to Man U, you've got Brazilian. Real Madrid, plenty. Barcelona, plenty. Bayern Munich, plenty. Every huge club in Europe has got a Brazilian. Majority of who are in attacking position similar to that Lucas Ribeiro Costa is occupying. So Nascimento is like, hey brother, take the chance, take the opportunity. If a call comes from SAFA and says, don't worry, there are rules for you to meet the criteria, but if the coach wants you, the South African wants you, and the SAFA were saying thumbs up, we can quicken the process and bend the rules for you to become eligible and play for Bafana Bafana. The player is willing, but here's another thing. There is another South African legend in the former Orlando Pirates striker, Jerry Skhosana, who scored one of the most confusing, beautiful goals to acquire that star for Orlando Pirates in Ivory Coast. Jerry Skhosana is of this opinion. He is like, I can see that Lucas Ribeiro Costa is a beast. He is the best in the number 10 attacking role. We don't have a player like a Lucas Ribeiro in South Africa. He acknowledges that, but he says he is of the opinion that we cannot allow a player of foreign origin and make him South African citizen for him to join and play for Bafana Bafana. He acknowledges the gift, he acknowledges the talent, the brilliance, the excellence coming from the player, but he is like, let us nurture our own talent. Yes, we might not have a player in the figure and the stature of a Lucas Ribeiro Costa, but we've got the resources, we've got players that could be scouted, and then we can nurture them, according maybe to the pattern of a Lucas Ribeiro Costa. It would be interesting to hear from you. I think on this one, I'm not even standing on the fence. I think I am going to go with the Jerry Skhosana. He plays for my team, Mamelodi Sundowns. I love my team. I love El Ribeiro Costa. But I'm also like, one other thing that Jerry Skhosana said, he was like, if Brazil are not selecting him for their squad, then it is none of our business. Let him remain capless for his national team, but we ain't gonna include him in Bafana Bafana. I think I might not be as harsh as him, but I think we can also, build players to the stature, the figure, the pattern of a Lucas Ribeiro. And yeah, man, I know he would be a great addition. I mean, great value to that Bafana squad. I mean, Bafana Bafana squad, our number 10 is Mthemba Mshishizwane. We are slowly embracing a Tito Maswangani that Hugo Bruce is selecting into the squad. And time and time again, they've also tried to play Erelo Mofokeng in that number 10 position. But yeah, man, I think for me, I don't think there's room for a Lucas Ribeiro Costa. Is there room for a Thulani Serero? I think there is a room for Thulani Serero. Let's just see the next 2 months or so if he's going to change anything, if it's indeed confirmed that he is going to Cape Town City. Interesting topic. Let me hear from you. What do you think about this? Is there room for the two players I've just mentioned in a Thulani Serero, 14-year experience playing in Europe, developed by Ajax Cape Town, coming with the same group of about George Maluleka, Thulani Hlachwayo, your Shabalala, who's one of the lawyers now for the players, the union for the players, and you've got like Mukoch, he's coming from that school. So these players were well developed and playing for those many years in Europe, it really should count for something. So I think it's going to be a great addition for a Cape Town City or even the Bafana Bafana if his performances are up there. Let me hear your thoughts on this topic. If you're seeing this space and this content for the very first time, you do support the channel by liking, by subscribing, by sharing, by commenting on the section below on the topic at hand, and you do further support by contributing whatever you can so we can improve our equipment, and audio, everything that you can think of. It comes by us having more money so we can be able to grow and better everything that we do on a daily basis on this football, this African football content. Now let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.